If we look at the problems that we spoke about I think up until now, right? So the problem around not making the right investments, the problem about around not asking the right questions when we're making those investments, the problems around accountability, the problems around who gets the credit at the end of the day. So all of these things exist within organizations, but there's nobody that owns it, right? So and if we think about it in an organization, there isn't really somebody at this point in time that is ideally situated within the company that can address all of those problems. Some of it you might want to send to project manager, some of it you might want to send to one of your finance executives, some of it you might want to send to the data executives, but it's really, there's nobody that's bringing cohesion between those functions and all these problems to solve it. And this is really, the, let's call it the main reason for why we sort of created the concept of the data value architect. And the funny thing is, it's not a new concept. We've seen companies doing this successfully. They just called the role something else. They either called it a chief results and delivery officer, focusing on results and delivery. And the funny weird thing there is, it's focusing on the delivery of stuff and not the value. So the value component is a bit missing, but in essence, they're doing very much the same thing. So the data value architect really is that missing link between business value and analytics delivery. They sort of bring those worlds together to make sure that it gets done. And this needs to be a role, and the reason why we scoped it in such a way that it needs to be somebody that's neutral. Think of a Switzerland type resource where, if this sits within the data function, people are just going to think it's the data team driving their agenda. So it needs to be somebody that sits outside the data team that can leverage the data team to create value, to make sure that value is assured at the end of the day.